I'll talk about altitude, barometric pressure, and partial pressure of oxygen that's inspired. Here at sea level, the normal barometric pressure is about 760, and the normal partial pressure of oxygen that's inspired is 150. And it's also important to note that this is important in order to maintain the alveolar partial pressure of oxygen at the normal level, which is 100. And as you can see, as the altitude increases, the partial pressure of oxygen inspired decreases, to the point where at 6,000 meters, the barometric pressure is 354, and the partial pressure of oxygen inspired is 65. And that makes it impossible to maintain the alveolar partial pressure of oxygen of 100 that we just noted. This graph shows adaptation of the respiratory system to high altitude. And here is a normal person who lives at sea level. And this would be for someone who lives at, let's say, 4,000 meters, actually 4,540 if you want to be exact. And as you can see, in comparison to someone living at sea level, for someone who's living at a higher altitude, the inspired partial pressure of oxygen is 80. It's about 80. And it appears that the alveolar partial pressure of oxygen is about 50. Right here. And the difference between the inspired and alveolar partial pressure of oxygen is 50 at sea level, but only 30 at high altitude. And the difference between those is achieved by hyperventilation in response to hypoxia.